Well, good morning. We are in Ubud, Bali, and we're out for a wonderful morning walk. We're going to talk today about something that's come up in the comment section quite often, which is how I choose what stocks I'm going to buy. What metrics do I use? What do I do to analyze a stock before I buy it? Well, I'll tell you, I can't give financial advice, obviously, but I can say exactly what I like to do. So today, I'm going to give you 3 of my metrics that I use when I decide what stocks I'm going to buy. We've got a lot to talk about today. We're also going to have a wonderful meal. We're going to enjoy this beautiful hike. I love these day hikes here in Ubud. And then tonight, we'll go into the city a little bit, maybe do a little bit of shopping, and I'll give you a chance to see what that looks like here in Ubud. I'm loving this trip, by the way. Okay, we've got a lot to cover in this video. Let's go. Walking this trail, there's a lot of structures, there are temples, there's also restaurants and coffee shops on the walk, so it's really nice. But let's go down by the water to start. In the comment section, I get a lot of people that ask why I buy certain stocks. What is it that makes me choose a certain stock? And I'll tell you, that's actually a great question. And I'm gonna give you 3 reasons in this video that probably you never thought of. I mean, people look at very basic things, like they look at the price of the stock, or has the stock been in the news? Have people talked about the stock? Is it popular? You know, another thing people do, which is maybe not that bad of an idea, is do they understand the stock? Like, do they own something in their own home that's made by the company of that stock? And that's actually not that bad of a reason. But the 3 reasons that I'm going to talk about today, they're not the only 3 reasons, but they're 3 that you wouldn't expect. The first one that we're going to talk about is going to be what sector it's in. In other words, I want the stock to be foundational. I don't want it to be something that's in the news and fancy and everybody's talking about it and the CEO is famous and, you know, and no. I have a tendency to buy stocks that are quiet. People don't think about them. And yet the products that they manufacture build the entire world around us. Every building, every car, every computer, everything that you own in your home, including your home, everything that you wear, are generally from products that the companies that I own manufacture. They are foundational stocks, and we'll talk a little bit about that. I don't necessarily buy companies that manufacture the end product computer that you have in your home, but I buy the companies that make the processors that run that computer. I buy companies that manufacture the metals, the rare earth metals that make up all the components of that computer that you have in your house. I buy companies that make the high technology plastics and high technology glass that make up the screens and the internal parts of that computer you have in your house. You see, these are the foundational stocks that build the world around us. They're quiet, they're not very well known, but they also, every quarter, pay me a steady income. Industrial metals, industrial plastics, chemical plants, energy stocks, stocks that operate pipelines, stocks that move products from one place to another. I love shipping companies, shipping, train. These are the types of companies that really, even through recessions and through economic downturns, they just continue on. Also, in times of conflict, God forbid, in times of conflict, they do very well because a lot of money gets pushed into them to manufacture products. I'll put on screen here for you some stocks that basically build society. Metals,
plastics, energy, shipping, pharma, utilities, the internet connection that you're watching this over, all the materials that go into the device you're watching this on, the textiles for the clothing that you're wearing, or maybe not.
We're having a good conversation and putting out some good thoughts about buying stocks and what criteria I use, but it gets hot, so we need to take a break. And I like to find these little places like the Legend Cafe where I can get a drink.
Thank you so much.
This drink here has strawberry, banana, and a few other things in it, like, interestingly, some dark green vegetables and a little bit of lemon and lime and yogurt. It's very nice. But now that we've kind of cooled off, let's get back onto the trail because we have a lot more to talk about.
What's the next factor that I choose? And again, it's not something that you'll hear, financial advisors talk about much. But I'll tell you what, it is something that the financial advisors keep a very close eye on. But for some reason, it just doesn't make it out to the general public to talk about it. Maybe because it seems confusing at first, but it's not so much when you have it explained to you. And so I'll do my best, because it's probably one of the most important factors when it comes to me choosing a dividend stock. Out of the profits that the company makes, they're going to take a portion and give it to you as a dividend. That's called the dividend payout ratio. And you want that to be sustainable. It doesn't matter to me if someone says, hey, this stock has got a dividend of 9%, baby. Super high dividend. And then I look and the dividend payout ratio has been over 100% for the last couple of years. That's not sustainable. They're paying more than their profits to keep paying you that high dividend. That's what's known as a dividend trap. I don't know if you've ever heard that term before, but a dividend trap is when a stock advertises a high dividend. Look at me, look at this high dividend. But the reality is they're paying over 100% dividend payout ratio, which means it's not sustainable. They can't keep that high dividend going. And that's why that is a factor that I look at. It's very easy to find too. You can find it on the spreadsheets. You can even Google it. You can just say, I'm looking at this stock. What is the dividend payout ratio of this stock?
Let's stop off here at the Red Rice Cafe. This is a nice little place overlooking the valley. Perfect place to stop in. A lot of times I've already eaten something for breakfast, but I can't not stop at these little places to eat because they're delicious and cheap.
Thank you so much.
You grab a bite like this, it hardly costs anything and actually gives you a chance to get out of the sun a little bit.
Ooh, thank you so much. Oh my, thank you.
This dish is noodles with an egg on top and chicken and vegetables stir-fried into it. Very nice. It's called goreng. There are many types of goreng, and basically I equate it to what we have in Hawaii we call a mixed plate. You never know in goreng what they're going to throw in there, but this one had a lot of different things in it. Just delicious. $3.50. I mean, it's just a chance to get out of the sun and have a nice meal.
What is the third factor that I look for when I'm choosing a stock? Now, this one could be for dividend stocks and for growth stocks, both. And this is going to be another one that people don't talk about. They talk about how well-known a company is, how popular a product is that they make. They talk about how well-spoken and how outspoken the CEO is. And these things make stocks popular. But one thing they don't talk about is this metric, and it's very important. People will sometimes look at the price of each share and say, look at how fast it's going up. Oh man, I gotta get in on this. I gotta buy this stock because it's doubled in the last 90 days. It's going to the moon, okay? I'm telling you right now, that's probably the last thing that you want to try to jump on board. But again, I'm just telling you what I do. And this factor has worked out very good for me over the years. I look at what's called the burn rate. Now, what is the burn rate? Well, when you look at the financials of a company for that quarter, let's say, you look and see how much cash they have on hand. Then you look at what their operating expenses were for the same quarter. You can also sit and listen to the quarterly analysis that is given out, the report that's given out by the CEO or by someone from the company, because that will often explain what they're expecting to see for costs of operations for the next couple of quarters, so you can get an idea if those expense numbers are going to go up or down. But if that expense quarterly is like half of the cash that they have on hand, that company's got 2 quarters before they go bankrupt. Does that make sense? They're burning cash so fast that they don't have enough to even finish out the year. They're going to have to do a few things. One, they're going to have to beg people for money, which means go around and try to find investors. And 2, they're going to have to print more shares. They print more shares, they sell those cheap, and that dilutes your investment. So one thing that people don't look at when they buy stocks, and I pay close attention to, is called the burn rate. How fast are they spending cash every quarter? And how much cash do they have left?
Is the company making enough money every quarter to cover that expense? If it's not, guess what they're going to have to do? Dip into that cash. And if it's gone, they're bankrupt.
And what stocks don't I buy? Generally stocks that manufacture things that people sell on a shelf somewhere in a store. The end products such as food products, retail items, things like that. I mean, a lot of these things are very small margins. Small margins mean not a lot of money to pay dividends out at the end of the quarter. But at the same time, they also deal with things like lawsuits and shoplifting and stuff like that. And they end up being a mess.
Before we go out shopping, let's grab a bite to eat. Taco Casa is a great choice. Taco Casa is fantastic. At night, it gets much busier.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Amazing.
A full variety of different Mexican foods here. Very delicious. The prices are fantastic.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much.
Wow, what a meal. I mean, it's massive. I love a burrito like this. Massive burrito with everything inside of it, all the veggies, chicken, 2 different kinds of beans, 2 different kinds of rice that they make here. And this particular place as well now, Taco Casa, they make multiple kinds of salsa, which I kind of set here in the picture so that you can see them. Fantastic. I love having good Mexican food when I'm traveling, and you don't always find it, but this place is good. And this is one of my favorite dishes that they make. Taco Casa is near the monkey forest here in Ubud, so it's a place to grab a bite to eat if you're going to head over there to check out the monkeys. And we still have some shopping to do tonight. I'm going to take you out a little bit to kind of see the markets in the evening time. I just wanted to give you a little idea of what the markets are at night here in Ubud, and there are several like this. Incredible shopping.
I want to thank you for spending some time with me today. We got a chance to answer a question that I get a lot, which is how do I choose stocks? And again, I can't give financial advice, but I can explain what techniques I use. And today I gave you 3 that most people don't think about. They think about other metrics that are more popular, but the 3 that I gave you today, I'll tell you right now, they've helped me a lot over the years. We've got a lot more of Bali to see, and we've got a lot more countries to go to after this. We're not stopping. We've got our backpack, we've got our passport, and we're continuing to travel the world, living a low-cost lifestyle in our retirement. And I would like to have you come with. Like and subscribe to the video. Spend some time with me and comment in the comment section what your thoughts are on what we talked about today. All right, we'll talk again soon. Aloha. What are you doing there? You having a good day? Come. Look at this guy right here.